Are you single and ready to mingle? Join our singles party. How old are you and what do you do for a living? All right. So the first person I'm going to call is Joshua. How old are you and what do you do for a living?
I'm 28 and I'm in the army currently.
All right. Manuela.
Hi, Marissa. I'm
Hello.
36 and I am a design director by trade, but currently managing my mother's business.
Awesome. Connor.
I'm 24 years old and I work with data entry over at Erie Insurance.
Awesome. Ivana.
Hey, I'm Ivana. I'm 29 years old and I'm an operations analyst at a financial institution.
Awesome. Rebecca.
So I'm Rebecca. I'm 29 years old and I work with mentally disabled adults.
All right. Sandra.
Hello, I'm Sandra. I work in the public health sector at the county level.
All right. Welcome, Sandra. Welcome.
I am a C-suite executive assistant for a telecommunications internet service provider.
All right. Annie.
I am way older than everybody here, and I do technical writing for a startup company in San Diego. So I work remote. Technical writing. I'm a former nurse. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Jack.
I'm a software developer and business owner.
Awesome. Dave.
I'm Dave. I'm 30 years old and I do engineering work at Raytheon.
All right. Sam.
I'm Sam. I'm 30. I'm trying to finish up my PhD in ancient history, and I'm also a captain in the Army Reserve.
Awesome. Drea.
I'm 39 and I'm a compliance officer.
All right. John.
I am 33 years old and I am a billing analyst for a trucking company called Quantix.
All right. And Angelina.
I am 43 years old and I work in local government. I'm an operations manager.
All right, everyone. So thank you for the introductions. So the first question on the floor is going to be, what are you currently looking for? New friends, to date someone new, a long-term relationship? What are you currently looking for? And I will start with you, Angelina.
In the hot seat again.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a long-term relationship.
All right. John.
I'm currently looking for a long-term relationship, maybe possibly friends.
All right. Drea.
I'm looking for a long-term relationship.
All right. Sam.
I am looking for a long-term relationship within my age bracket, like 2 up or two below 30, or 3 below 30.
All right. Sounds good. Dave.
I'm looking to date somebody new, and if it goes long term, I'm completely open to that.
All right. So Jack.
I would say I'm looking for ultimately someone who wants a family.
All right. Tanner.
I'm just looking to date and I guess long term if it works out.
All right. Donovan.
Potentially a long-term relationship, although I am open to making some friends as well.
All right. Sandra.
I'm looking for a long-term relationship as well. And I believe I said my age. I'm 33.
All right. Okay. Rebecca.
So
Hi, my name is Fidel Gutierrez Ochoa, and this is our logo. I represent Perpetual Motors. We're doing a fundraising at GoFundMe.com. These are some of our designs, different ones in the same one. And we have the agro, mobile agro actually it's called.
I'm looking for a long-term relationship as well.
Ivana?
I would say a long-term relationship.
Connor?
Also long term.
Manuela?
Also, ultimately long term, but also in meeting new people, like-minded, and friendship.
Awesome. And Joshua?
I am looking to date. Long-term relationship is definitely the goal.
Awesome. Do you have children? I will start with Angelina. Do you have children?
Yes, I do. I have two children. I have a 24-year-old son, and I also have a 14-year-old daughter.
Awesome. And would you like more in the future?
I am not looking to have more in the future.
All right. John?
I currently have no kids, but I would like to have some in the future if applicable.
Awesome. Drea?
No, I don't have kids, but would like some.
Awesome. Sam?
I don't have kids, but I am considering in the future.
All right. Dave?
I currently do not have kids.
Would you like children in the future?
Yeah.
All right. Jack?
Yep, definitely. I'm I don't have any kids, but I definitely would want some.
All right. Stanley?
I have a 25-year-old son and a 21-year-old daughter. And no, not looking to have more.
All right. I was gonna ask to be fair, but I figured that was probably the answer. Jonathan?
I am single. I do not have any kids. I would be open to kids in the future with the right person, so you can put that as a yes.
All right. Sandra?
Yes, I have an 11-year-old and I am open to having more children. It's not a deal breaker, but I am open to it. And I like for the person who I'm dating to know that I am a package deal. Not looking for a father figure, but knowing that I do come with a child and to be able to incorporate her in our life together is very important to me.
Sounds good. Rebecca?
So I don't have any children, and I don't plan on having any children.
All right. Ivana?
I don't have any kids, and I honestly don't know if I want kids.
Okay. Okay. Comment?
I don't have any kids, but I'm a little bit on the fence on whether or not I want them in the future.
Okay. Manuela?
I have two girls, 8 and 12. And like Sandra, I'm a package deal. So I loved what you said, Sandra. Just repeat whatever Sandra said.
All right. Sounds good. Joshua?
I have no kids, not opposed to having goats and children.
All right. All right, everyone. The next question on the floor is, why do you think you're single? All right. That's the next question on the floor. Why do you think you're single? And I will start with you, Josh. Joshua. Sorry, Joshua.
Appreciate it. There is a difference.
Yes.
Why am I single? There's a lot of factors that go into that that I won't get into. I don't know for sure, but I think in essence, it all comes down to God's perfect timing.
Okay. All right. Manuela?
I am single. That's a tough question. uh, um, Mainly because of my girls. I have to be really picky, with who I bring into my life. And then also, I'm very inexperienced with dating. I got married really young, and I didn't have that young adult life um, where I got to meet a lot of people. So, yeah, I think that's why I'm single.
Okay. Okay. Connor?
That's a very loaded question. I would say I tend to be very awkward in certain situations, especially when it comes to um, dates. It's been a hit or miss kind of thing where actually no, I shouldn't say hit or miss, really just miss. Um, and so I would really like to kind of improve upon my social skills because I haven't really been getting out that much lately, especially with the weather. But that's a different story entirely. But yeah, that kind of just about sums it up.
Alright. Ivana?
Um, Honestly, I feel like maybe I'm just looking for men in the wrong places, especially in dating apps. I don't know, they just haven't worked for me. So I'm just trying other apps like this.
You sure? For sure. Rebecca?
I guess I can agree with Ivana. I've probably been looking in the wrong places.
Okay. Sandra?
I like to say I'm a hopeless romantic. It's why I feel so I'm single. Okay, let me kind of go into details, but not too much. Um, I just see people as good. I see everyone as good and not taking the opportunity to really get to know people before I guess putting labels is kind of a downside to me. Um, and so yeah, at my age now, I feel like I've come to terms with what I want and not really settling. So that's why I feel as though I'm single because I know what I want and I'm not gonna stop or try to diminish what I want and like the standards of what is going to come into my life as far as love. So I'm just being picky and selective because of past experience.
Awesome. Donovan?
I laughed at whoever said the loaded question because I understand where you're coming from. Um, Essentially, I've had a lot of bad luck with the dating apps, and I'm kind of burnt out. Plenty of matches, but without being judgmental, people are there for a reason. As for why I'm there, I'm a San Diego transplant. I drove across the country 2 years ago from New York City, pretty much in the height of the pandemic, and I had a partner at the time, since split, and I really just never got my sea legs in terms of being social in this place. The job that I have, while they've been pushing us in the office a little more and more, at one point it was work from home 3 days. I've got two Siamese cats. um, I'm a very busy guy. I play guitar. I'm fencing 3 days a week. I'm doing lots of things, and so I really think that I just haven't put myself out there in the public, and I haven't quite figured out, what's the right avenue for that. And the dating apps are just not it, just not it anymore. So I've got to. This is sort of the beginning of me trying something new.
Exactly. I love that. New year, new ventures. All right.
You know what they say
Tammy?
about insanity. Trying the same thing over and over again,
Yeah.
expecting a different result.
Exactly. Tammy?
Well, I work from home for one thing, so I'm in my house most of the week. Um, I pursue my interests. I do camping, geocaching, pickleball, all kinds of stuff. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's my age group, but I think men are just kind of afraid to ask, I guess, because it's a hard thing to do to walk up to somebody you don't know and talk and be charming. So, and also, the older you get, there's less choices. So, um, yeah.
Okay. Jack?
So for me, I would say I think I moved at least like once a year since I was 18, if not twice a year. Um, so I've just kind of moved around. I've had a lot of jobs. It's hard to form long-term relationships when you're in different places.
For sure. Dave?
So I think I'm single because I don't think it's been something that I've prioritized in my life. So this is not an area in my life that I have a ton of experience with. I was always kind of a person who was into books and school. Like I spent a lot of time in graduate school, and so it hasn't been something that I've prioritized. And I also think I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic as well. So I don't think that necessarily helps the situation. And that's why I think I'm single.
I think I've been single because um, I have somewhat of an active lifestyle. What I mean by that is I kind of travel a lot for archaeology excavations and whatnot, like to Greece, and trying to look for someone who's interested in traveling, and also I haven't met someone who's I don't know if there's a different word for caliber, but someone who is understanding and has knows what they want and is not wanting to play uh, the dating game in terms of the tug and pull. Like if you know what you want, you should go for it. And I guess my sense of directness has not been a favorable taste for a lot of the women that I've met on dates. I mean, I don't have any problems on getting the first date. It's I end up not I end up having trouble going past the second date, mostly because I find that I'm not like I don't feel the sense of commonality or interest that I share with the people that I go on dates with.
Drea?
I just want to let Tammy know it's not just her age group. I think it's a lot of different age groups where men just don't approach. I have a very active social life, and men will stare. They'll start conversations, but then there's no landing. It's just like, okay, well, so it's difficult when they aren't really approaching or taking the initiative.
For sure. John?
I would say that I agree with Donovan on the dating app thing. Uh, I would probably say that a real man admits his faults, and I'm a little bit picky, a little bit busy, and sometimes I expect too much. I feel like we as humans instinctually believe that we deserve the best, and that's whatever result should come of that. So I try to look for the best, and if I don't feel like it's something that is, then I may move on, or maybe the other person moves on. So it's all about chemistry.
For sure. Angelina?
Well, to echo what some of the others have said about the dating apps, that definitely is an experience. This year, I decided I wanted to meet people in real life or just in different settings. So, hence me being here today. Um, but I think I just haven't found the right person. I mean, I've met a lot of people, I've gone on lots of dates. And I always feel like around that 3 month mark is kind of where it dies off. Like that has been a recurring for me. And it's typically me ending things, just kind of figuring people out and, you know, being divorced. I know what I don't want. And in learning and dating, I know what I do want. So just kind of trying to stay true to myself and, you know, what I'm looking for.
Okay, awesome. And I'll actually jump in here because I noticed a lot of a lot of people here today were mentioning dating apps. So I would just give my quick opinion on it as someone that used to be on dating apps from back in the day. Like what I will say is I feel like the dating apps, they force you to be superficial. And my sister and I were having that discussion a few months back where like it forces you to be superficial. It's like, oh well, not attracted to them. Okay, nope, nope, nope. But sometimes I've noticed people I've seen in real life who people I've seen in real life who might have been on the dating app, like if I someone that I might have said no to on the dating app, if I meet them in real life, the chemistry and the energy, it makes me want to get to know them more. So that's why about over a year ago I started this dating show on my podcast because seeing the person moving around like just moving around in movement like on video versus just a picture, it kind of gives you a better idea of who they are versus just staring at a picture. So I just wanted to put that little tidbit out. So I agree with you guys, the dating apps are just, it just forces you to be superficial. That's what I don't like about dating apps, i.e. why I created the show. All right,
Yeah.
moving on. Okay, this is a fun question, everyone. Okay.
Well, Donovan has
Who?
a
Okay.
question. Donovan
Oh,
raised his
Donovan.
hand up.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh wait, I gotta. Oh wait,
I'm
Donovan. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want to hijack your thing.
No, no, no. You can ask a question.
I was just gonna make a
Yeah.
15-second comment. The golden age of the dating apps is over, in my opinion. There was a period maybe around where it was cool. I want to say like 2014 to like 2018, maybe 19, but like COVID did a number, man. And it's a catch 22 because after the pandemic, society in America has been conditioned to be more isolated, leave me alone, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, now the dating apps, especially in the men's end, are so hyper saturated that if you're not Superman or if you don't put on some kind of crazy show, you're gone in 2 seconds, And the funny thing is, my experience is every single woman that has actually gone out on a date with me, at least 3 days. It's as if it's a complete, but getting to that first date, oh my God, it feels like Who Wants to Be
It's
a
rough.
Millionaire? It's a ridiculous game
I
show,
know.
and I'm just over it, man. I'm so over it.
All right. So the question is, who is slash was your biggest celebrity crush? So again, who like back in the day was your biggest celebrity crush, or who is currently your biggest celebrity crush? It's just a fun question just to see what your answer is. I will start with Angelina. Who is slash was your biggest celebrity crush?
Ryan Gosling has had my heart for the
Oh,
longest.
awesome. John.
You're putting me on the spot here. There's a couple of them, but I'd probably say my number one would probably be I'm sorry, Rachel McAdams. She's a hot number, so I'd probably have to say her. Yeah, yeah, she's a baddie.
I'd say Michael B. Jordan, and it's interesting because I remember when he first came up and I was not attracted to him, but it seems like the older he's gotten, the more attracted I've become to him.
Okay, Michael B. Jordan. Okay. Sam.
I'd say Jennifer Aniston. She got me on Friends and We're the Millers. I think We're the Millers was a turning point for that.
All right. Dave.
Shakira.
All right, she's fine. Yep, she's good at that. Jack.
Man, this is hard for me. I guess I would say maybe like Sandra Bullock. because she's very feminine and kind of ditzy and attractive. Like I remember like mid '90s Speed era. Sandra Bullock was pretty good. It's the best I got.
Right. Tammy?
Okay, for me, George Strait would be number one, and I'm in the Ryan Gosling camp as well.
Jonathan?
I'm gonna give you a twofer. So when I was a real superficial kid, I would have said like Cameron Diaz, like 90s, early 2000s. I always thought she was really hot. But as I grew up, I think if I wanted a girlfriend, who reflects a celebrity now, more of you like Michelle Rodriguez from the Fast and Furious series. Just like, I mean, she's beautiful, but her personality is just so badass and so fun. Like that, a woman like that would keep me on my toes in the best way. So that's what I would say.
All right. Awesome. Sandra?
I would say The Rock.
Oh, The Rock. Awesome. Awesome. Rebecca?
I would say Channing Tatum.
All right. Ivana?
I would say Captain America, so Chris Evans.
Oh, okay. Yep, I remember those movies. Connor?
I gotta say Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Rec.
All right. Manuela?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I don't have that any crushes right now, but I do remember my first celebrity crush ever, and it was more of the character. Does anybody know Daniel's son from Karate Kid? That was my first.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first crush ever, and it was not the celebrity per se. It was in the movie character. I do really like people that hone their craft, and I guess I'm an old soul because I'm like Richard Gere for me, George Clooney. Those were the men that I thought were super handsome and crushed on in my teenage years. So
Awesome. Awesome. Joshua?
I don't really have crushes, at least not anymore. But someone that I wish was single, I'll put it that way, is I'm not sure if anyone would actually know who this person is, but in the Christian music industry, there's this woman named Ann Wilson, and I wish that she was single because she's a good young Christian woman and she sings really well. I'm a good singer and musician in general, so it's attractive to me when a woman can sing well.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thank you for your answers. That was fun. All right. So the next question on the floor is, what is your idea of a good date? All right. What is your idea of a good date?
I guess I'm already prepared, actually. I would say church is a good way to start. And after that, we can go to lunch or dinner, however works out as convenient. And who knows, maybe I'll pull out my guitar and play something romantic.
Awesome. Manuela?
um, well, anywhere where we can talk and get to know each other a little bit better, and kind of I can be able to relax because I can get really much in my head and nervous. So maybe like going to a comedy show, where we're laughing, and then after we can talk and judge how good or bad the comedians were, that type of thing. Maybe trying something new, different, both of us, so I don't feel like a complete failure when I mess up on something, or and definitely something that involves food. I'm a foodie.
Awesome. And Connor?
I gotta say, for me, it's would be something more like what Manuela said, kind of more relaxed. And since I'm more of an introvert, I don't like going to fancy nightclubs or bars or anything like that. So that would kind of be off the list. Really, what I would love to do is watch really bad movies and make fun of them with whoever I'm having my date with. And just like kind of pointing out, like, oh my God, that's so stupid. Or, they could have done that, or, they could have just switched the lever. I don't know, but you kind of get my gist.
Yes. Ivana?
So maybe not for a first date, but I definitely want to go on a date where you're watching a jazz show at a jazz club while eating dinner.
Awesome. Okay, I like that. Rebecca?
So I mean, in terms of what to do, I'm pretty much down for most things. But basically, a good date would be with someone who I actually have chemistry with and want something serious.
Awesome. Sandra?
I would say a first date for me would consist of anything that gets us to be creative, like use that part of our brain to be creative, whether it's like a paint night or a pottery or um, jewelry making, like something more hands-on rather than like a dinner date. Even though there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel as though one of the characteristics that I like in somebody that I'm dating is that they're able to be creative in that way.
Awesome. Jonathan?
Um, I think that a great first date would be multifaceted. I think that the core focus, at least initially, should be spending a good hour to actually talk with the person directly, unimpeded. Just because, it's not a foregone conclusion that this is somebody who you actually want to spend your time with. I mean, your time is valuable and assumedly so is theirs, right? So you can get a feel for somebody within about 30 minutes to an hour, based on their mannerisms, based off of, their trash talker, those kind of things. But you want to facilitate that in some way. Something I would do, for example, is maybe we would agree to meet somewhere that's mutually open, like a beach, or grab some gelato, grab a snack where we can sit outside and talk for a while, right? And then pick your brain into some actual questions of substance. Who the hell are you really, right? And then once we get that out the way, let's do something that if it doesn't work out, would still have been worth both of our time, right? So if I'm gonna give you my afternoon, maybe we can go to a dance class, maybe we can go play yoga, maybe we can go do top golf, maybe we can do something that I would gladly do with or without you anyway, so it's not a bust no matter how it turns out.
Tammy?
Well, I'm not a big fan of sitting in restaurants. So that's always the first thing I tell the guys. I don't want to go to dinner. So I'd rather do something outside, like pickleball or camping. Well, I guess that's probably not a good one, but like walk on the beach, boy, that sounds really nice. Yeah. Mm. And also
So
maybe go
actively,
country dancing for someone that can
oh,
dance.
that's fun. Yeah,
That would be
active.
fun.
I know you do. I like active
That's
dates
not
too,
outdoors.
especially when. Yeah, exactly. I've been there, done that. I've been when I like back in the like a couple of years ago. I was fasting and dieting, so I was like, we can do anything but go to a restaurant because I don't want to be tempted. So I understand that.
It's just too
Jen.
formal. I don't,
Yeah, too
watching
formal.
someone eat, it just makes me nervous, somebody watching me eat that I hardly know. It's like,
Or not all the time. I like switching it up.
yeah,
I hear you.
yeah, just
Um,
do something fun, mutually enjoyable, not dinner.
yes. Jeff?
See, that wouldn't work for me because I'm all business when it comes to food, you know, just no. Uh, um, it's like, have you guys not seen rom-coms? Clearly, the best first date is you meet at the pier and you walk around, you get like these weird sunglasses, and then you take a picture in the photo booth and you like, I don't know, it's just an adventure. It doesn't really matter what you do. I think you plan to meet somewhere and then you have some ideas of where you might go, but the best first date is where you're out doing something.
Dave?
Uh, Getting ice cream or gelato sounds nice. Walking around downtown to hike, doing something. I mean, any of those sound fine with me. Yoga class, Spanish class. Uh, yeah, I mean, even dinner. I'm fine with that too. Try some new food. Sure, what the heck.
All right. Sam?
I think my ideal first date is whether it be eating at a jazz club or taking a stroll at the beach. Um, as long as the other person and I are enjoying each other's company, I think that's what matters the most because that determines whether or not you get a second date and just being able to not look at your watch or the phone and just be sucked into that person and see where the relationship takes from there.
For sure. Julia?
My idea of a great first date is doing something active. So going bowling. I like the golf, so like going to the driving range. Also, maybe having a little friendly competition. I mean, make it fun, make it light, and because you can always ask questions in between and get to know a person.
Awesome. John?
Well, I think there's kind of a difference between a first date and a second date. I guess for a first date, it would probably be just something kind of small to see if you fill each other out, maybe like a drink or a coffee and a walk. And then the second date, you would probably want to get into something a little bit more serious, but not too drastic. Maybe like, maybe like some dinner and then an ice cream afterwards, or something maybe fun, something a little bit different than that, just to kind of like feel out the temperature of the connection.
For sure. Angelina?
I also love an activity date. I bowling, hiking. There's a couple of great waterfalls near me, so going on like a waterfall hike is always a good time. Top golf. But I have to admit, I am a foodie, so I also love to, eat. I'm like Jack. I don't play when it comes to food. But I definitely like doing things that are more activity, like axe throwing, or, I'm always willing to try something new, going to the beach, going paddle boarding, things like that.
Awesome. All right, everyone. The next question up is is more of a statement, but you get the point. Describe your three best qualities. All right. That's the question or slash statement on the floor. Describe your three best qualities. And I will start with you, Angelina.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I'm a good communicator. Best qualities. I think I'm empathetic and compassionate.
Awesome. John.
I would probably say I'm definitely loyal. I'm definitely a good communicator. Let's see, probably the third one. Um, hmm, let's see. And I'm probably emotionally available as well. I would probably tend to, if a woman, like, my woman's having a bad day or something, I'll be very real with her. Definitely try to like speak with her and try to sort out whatever issues, so.
Awesome. Julia.
I would say I'm empathetic, kind, and loyal.
Awesome. Sam?
I'd say I'm pretty transparent. I don't, if something happens, I make sure that uh, the other person knows what's going on so that I don't throw them under the bus. And it's more about teamwork in a relationship. And then my second quality is um, communication. Pretty good at um, telling the other person when I'm angry, like why I'm angry, when I'm sad, why I'm sad, when I'm happy, when I explain why. And then my third quality would be a high sense of awareness. So if the other person is feeling down, I go out of my way and try to get something she likes or make food that she probably likes and cheer her up by doing that. Or if she's happy, I take her out to eat or do something she likes to do
Awesome. Dave?
without asking.
Okay. Awesome. Dave?
I would say open-minded, pretty loyal, and I would also say emotionally available. I like listening to people and trying to understand where they're coming from without necessarily trying to solve their problems. I just like knowing what their problems are because then I don't know, you can kind of feel connected to them that way because what you're going through it might be what I'm going through or what somebody else is going through or you know. So
Jack?
My top three qualities are one, my beard, two, my wood chopping skills, and three, um, I have steak all the time. So if you're with me, lifetime supply of steak.
All right.
That sounds like an
Tammy?
online dating app qualities that you would put down on your profile.
Yeah. Tammy?
That is a tough question. Authenticity, authentic. Um, I stick to my values. I have Christian values, so I'm very truthful and all of those kind of values. And I'm fun. So
Awesome. Donovan?
Couple things. I think the first one is to say that, at the risk of reusing the same word, multifaceted. I have a diversity of interests as well as, a diversity of worldly experience. I've traveled to 4 out of 7 continents. I've been to, more than half of the 50 states. And, I just have a lot of things that I am engaged in. I have several passions. I'm ambitious when it comes to my career, but also when it comes to my professional sports, and also when it comes to my musicianship. I know that's kind of a mouthful for one, but let's just sum that to multifaceted. I would go off of that and say I'm relatively fearless. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way. I'm fearless not out of hubris, but because I have both won very big and I failed at pretty much everything very big. So I don't have that, oh, well, what if it doesn't work out in the back of my head? It's like, well, you already know what that feels like. So who cares? Who cares? I am on both ends of the spectrum. I'm a national champion, but I also have just last week had a girl say, "Oh, I'm not feeling it after $120 date." So I'm at the point in my life where I'm secure enough that I can just shrug it off. You're like, all right. And that actually is that's not something that came easy. That's something that, as a 32-year-old man, I've probably only reached within the last 2 years of my life. So one reason why I would not go back to my 20s. All that uncertainty, insecurity, Jesus Christ, glad that's over. And the last thing I'd say is that um, I'm deceptively extroverted. I like to call myself an introvert, but the reality is, due to the nature of my profession, I have to talk to 100 people a day who I don't want to talk to, and I have to seem very enthusiastic about it. So I have kind of that politician's smirk to me. I'm a social chameleon. I can get along with anybody so long as they are willing to give me what I'm giving them. If they're willing to meet me halfway. There's very few people who, at least on a friend level, I can't sync with.
Awesome. Thank you, Donovan. Sandra?
I would have to say I am very blunt. I'm a New Yorker through and through, born and raised. And so we get this bad rap that we can be mean, but it's not that we're mean. It's just when it comes to decisions, we're very gung ho and we're not gonna fold by any means necessary. So I'm very blunt because of my environment and my household and everything. So it's good in a way because somebody that I'm dating doesn't have to guess what I'm thinking or feeling. I'm going to tell you. So I like that about me. I like the fact that I'm a nurturer. You guys know I'm a mom, but before that, like I've always um, just want to, um, I guess, help and be of service and always wanting to make things better. So that's another factor about me. And then three, I would have to say I'm a risk taker, go getter, adventurous. And it didn't, I wasn't always like that. That happened like over time. And really during the pandemic, that's when like I was like, okay, like Sandra, do all the things. Don't put any limitations on yourself. So I'm very happy about that. Like I ran my first marathon during the pandemic, and that was amazing for me because I never thought I'd be able to do that. And like with that, that just opened floodgates for me. So yeah, those are my three characteristics or my three traits that I like about myself.
Awesome. Rebecca?
Well, I would say that I'm nice, funny, and I care about people, I guess.
Awesome. Ivana?
I would say I'm very communicative. I am very open-minded, so I'm also very cultured. I'm willing to try new things. And I have a really great sense of humor. I try to not take everything in life so seriously, of course, where needed.
Awesome. Connor?
Um, yeah, I would say good sense of humor is one of them. Like Ivana said, not taking life too seriously. Um, I would say empathetic. I know what people have gone through because chances are I've gone through it myself, especially some of the lower moments in life. I'm not going to lie, which brings me to my next point, honesty. I think, uh, if anything, like a little bit too honest at times, like what Sandra said, being blunt. Um, so there's that. Well, so yeah.
All right. Manuela?
So I've been told I'm a good listener. I think I can go above that and kind of like an active listener. And it goes along with the second quality, which I'm very curious and I have an interest in people's lives, like, whoever I'm talking to. Um, and a curiosity in learning things too. So when people say that they've done or they play, I just see Joshua there with a guitar. So like I'm like, oh, cool, and then I'll ask them about that stuff because I don't know how to play the guitar. I don't. So, and then third one, uh, I am open to a lot of new things, and I guess it plays with the second thing, and very loyal, for sure.
Awesome. Joshua?
One, I forgot that everyone can see me the whole time. Two, you may be wondering why I have a guitar in front of me. That's because it helps me feel more relaxed. But to answer the question, I would say that because of the lots of unpleasant and tough life experiences that I've gone through, God has made me really compassionate, like super compassionate all the time. Not perfect, of course, but definitely a strength of mine. And highly creative and good sense of humor. I like to be witty, make things lighthearted.
All right, thank you, Joshua. How can you be contacted? And I start with you, Joshua.
It's Joshua dot Aller. That's my last name. OLLER. Or to spell it out more clearly if I need to, it's Joshua dot. That's a O as in Oscar, L as in Lima, L as in Lima, and Echo Romeo. So Joshua.Aller 095 at gmail.com. See what happens. It's been a pleasure.
All right, Joshua, have a good night. Manuela, how can you be contacted?
My IG handle on my name there, Manny Freitas, Manny Freitas, Freitas. And thank you, Marissa, for hosting this singles party.
Yes, awesome. Well, I'm glad you're able to come out. Have a good night. All right, Connor.
So I actually wrote it down here. I don't know if you can kind of make it out, but it's Scully, SCULLY, Connor, CONNOR, number 5 at gmail.com.
All right, sounds good. Connor, have a good night. Ivana.
I put my Instagram handle next to my name, so it's bichota_5.
All right, okay, great. Okay. All right, Ivana, have a good night. Becca.
So, to contact me, Rebby360 is my Instagram. It's actually my Instagram from back when I was modeling. So yeah, there's that. And then also you can find me on Facebook. Just type in Rebecca Tilchin, you'll find me, trust me. All right, there you go.
All right, Rebecca, have a good night. Sandra.
I put my Instagram handle, but it's my first name and my middle name, so Sandra_Moyer.
All right, Sandra. Thanks for coming out and have a good night. Jonathan.
I think the easiest way will be to contact me on Facebook. The handle is Don Anthony Deans. So the first 3 letters of my first name. Anthony is the middle name. Deans is the last name. You can't miss me. I'm exactly as I appear.
All right, Jonathan. Jack.
So I put my my handle up here as well for Instagram. It's a jack of some trades, spelled like it sounds.
All right, Jack. Thank you. Have a good night. Dave.
So the best place to reach me would be David. I'm sorry, it would be D Campbell, spelled just like the soup, 41193 at gmail.com.
Sam, how can you be contacted?
I renamed at the top. I put out my email address.
Awesome. Yep, I see it. Yep. If you just want to spell it out for some people that might not be able to see it clearly.
SAMUELJ Kim at UCSB.edu. It's the school email that I work at.
All right, Sam. Sounds good. Have a good night. Drea.
I can be reached on Instagram at Drea Kush.
All right, sounds good, Drea. Have a good night. John.
I don't have Instagram, but I do have an email and a Facebook. I put my email up there, lamarandteddy@gmail.com. And you can also find me on Facebook at Jonathan Thompson. You can filter it out, Jonathan Thompson in Louisville, Kentucky, because I know that's kind of a common name.
Angelina, how can you be contacted?
I added my Instagram handle. It's QTA Kelly, and I am private, but I think you can still direct message me.
All right, Angelina, sounds good. Have a good night. Follow us and subscribe to our channel to join our next singles party.